Alright, on this exercise we're going to look at what happens when we look at different powers or different exponents for I. So let's start here with I to the 0 power. Now I hope you remember your basic algebra. Anything to the 0 power is 1. So I to the 0 power is 1. So we're going to plot A at 1. A. Okay. I to the first power. Well, that just means I have I. Here's I, because remember, imaginary plane is up that way. I squared. Well, of course, that's our definition. I squared is -1. Now, if I took I squared times I would get I cubed, right? I squared is -1. So -1 times I is -I. Look at what's happening. I started here, went up there, went down here, now I'm down here. Let's see what happens when we get to I to the 4th. Now we had I cubed times another I. I cubed was -I times another I. It's going to be -I squared, but I squared is -1. So negative and -1 just brings me back to 1. So we get this little cycle. And let's fill in this table and see what happens. I to the 0 was 1. I to the first power is I. I squared is -1. Then I cubed was -I. So we're going around the circle. 1, I, -1, -I. 1, I, -1, -I. 1, I, -1, -I. 1. We just keep going around and around and around. Now I want you to notice something. Every time we're at 1, look at the values that give us 1. It was I to the 0, I to the 4th, I to the 8th, I to the 12th. They are all multiples of 4. Now if I go up one space from that, I get I. I to the 1st gave me I to the 5th gave me I to the 9th gave me I to the 13th gave me I. Ha-ha! 2 spaces from a multiple of 4. I squared. I to the 6th. I to the 10th. I to the 14th. 3 places removed. I cubed. I to the 7th. I, to the 11th, and so forth. So there is a little trick. If you can take that exponent and divide by 4, it's like here, 8 divided by 4 is 2 with no remainder. That's always going to give you a 1. When I divide by 4 and I have a remainder of 1, that means I'm 1 up from a multiple of 4. I'll get I. 2 up from a multiple of 4, I get -1. 3, and I get a -I. And if you'd like to think about it visually, that's what I do. I to the 23rd. Now a multiple of 4 would put me at 1. 23, see 20 is a multiple of 4, so it would be here. 21, 22, 23. That's -I. I to the 1/22nd. Well, I to the 1/20th is a multiple of 4, so that would have been 1. So here would be to the 120, 121, 122. That'd be a -1. I to the 400th would be a multiple of 4, so that would mean I'd be at my starting point 1. I'm going to move 1 spot from there, so think about if I went up. That's I. What about 2,000? Is that a multiple of 4? Sure is. We'll go straight to 1.